So, our story begins in Ekathis, on the continent of Rhinemore, the motherland of sorts for this world, the place most races originated, most having been brought by the gods in the Great Convergence many years ago. In the thousands of years since then, the zeal of the gods and men has cooled, and people have spread out in many regards. Those that were here pre-convergence, like the elves of the renamed Phelan's court and the monks of the Young Catral, have welcomed these travelers, as they're called, and have lived in generalized peace. In the region where the Zlosis forest gives way on the east to the valley of Lodengard, and let me adjust visual here for us. It is the spring of 11904 PC, and roughly 400 years since the Phalans came back into power. And you, Snacks, have traveled a very long way. Food here isn't free, and stealing enough food for you and your Drake isn't easy. You're basically out of coin after resupplying at the last place kind enough not to throw you out. As such, you have responded to a vague job board posting in Zlosis regarding high-end security detail. The job is one that specifies a single event, and the quality of the posting, everything from the language of the printing to the paper, promises a pretty healthy payday. And Master Oshay is listed as the name of your potential employer. The listing says there is a day and a time to appear at a town a few days away for open interviews. Having little other options, you take Freckles and make your way there. Your search for employment has found you at the Woodengard Vista, in a town that has a stunning view of the Woodengard Valley with its soft grasses and sprawling trails and roads on clumps of forests that decorate the landscape. Your destination is not the nearby shops, inns, or the tourism center. Your destination is the Dovetail, a self-important conference center that has many of the higher class use to hold meetings and expositions. You are surprised to see that there are several individuals just inside the doors waiting. The space is lavishly carpeted and made from finely crafted monolithic beams of hardwood. And upon your entry, the receptionist, a wood elf dressed in obnoxiously colorful clothes, greets you. Greetings and welcome to the Dovetail, the finest establishment crafted for the curation of conferences. Are you here to attend an event or register?
Yes.
I don't follow.
Yes.
You're here to register an event.
Yes.
Okay, very good then. Registration is 60 gold per hour per room. When will the event be held? And she's holding a clipboard and a quill ready to take down notes on what you require.
I will review my notes on this job.
So
because clearly I have asked for the wrong thing.
She takes your silence and waits for a second. And did you mean to say that you're attending an event here?
Yes.
Very good. Do you know what event you're? And she's like kind of leaning down, one of her hands on her knees, like almost in a condescending fashion. Do you know who you're here to see?
Yes.
Okay. What's the name of the person?
Oshay.
Oshay. Very good. And she straightens up and looks at her clipboard and writes down a couple of things. Okay. Master Oshay is in room 12. If you would please wait here with the others, you'll be in the very next time slot. And she kind of is over exaggerative in her gestures and nods, and gestures you back to the people that are behind you now, over by the door.
Oshay, okay.
She just smiles and nods and goes back. walking a couple feet back to her spot behind the reception desk.
I just stand there grinning at her. I just stand there and grin.
After she gets back behind the desk, she just sees you not having joined the group over there, but it just kind of just stayed where you were. She kind of gives you a little wave.
I wave back.
Meanwhile, we have 5 other individuals who are waiting behind the door. So let me ask, Dalwin, would you please describe yourself and what you're doing in this moment?
Oh yes, well my name is Donovan Spinstar from Spinstar Farms. You might have heard of us. I am from Carthage, just sort of in the center of Ransmore, and currently I am just wearing some light leather and carrying my bag full of vials and syringes and wares and all the like, and just very nervous. Actually, no, not nervous. I'm confident about getting the job, as I am just sitting on the floor, just waiting for my name to be called. I have some short black hair, dark hair, with a few wrapped bandages around my arms, but overall, not too intimidating at a height of just over 3.5 feet.
Very good. Jalti, you see this small creature and his companion Drake walk into the building, and they're standing in front of you about 5 or 6 feet. You're currently placed where you've been told to sit or stand. What are you doing? And please describe yourself.
Hjalti he was doing like handstand push-ups, like he's on his hands and he's just doing like going up and down. Uh, I know Dustin's seen me in real life, but he kind of has my body appearance. Like he's really tall, he's really lanky, but he's like really toned, really like he looks really muscly to be like as small as he is. Uh, he is a human. He's got like almost legging type pants on, like they're really. He looks like he can move around really quick in them. His upper torso kind of has like the toga. I don't know what the fuck to call it. It's like a little half shirt. It goes across like half his body. You see like a lot of tattoos on his upper body or on his arms, and if you could see a little bit of his upper body, you'd see it there too. I've got a picture of him.
Does he have a tramp stamp?
No, no tramp stamp, sadly.
No.
I don't think it's gonna work like this. Let me do it with my phone.
Just a total sex god, just like Matt in real life.
Yeah, but he looks rather young, like really young. Uh, he's got a quarterstaff on his back, and like you see a pouch on his side that kind of jingles. It doesn't really sound like coins or anything. It sounds like if you have a bunch of shells like together. Where the fuck is this picture at? There we go. But yeah, this is the dude you guys see in there. And I'm just doing handstand push-ups. And I look over and I see the one guy that looks real nervous. I'm like, dude, you look kind of nervous.
Well, what? Me? He'll kind of like look over at you, as Darwin just kind of snaps his head up.
Yeah. What's up?
Oh, just a little bit nervous waiting for a interview. Are you here to see Master O'Shea yourself too?
Yeah. I don't know if I want to call him master though. It's kind of a presumptuous title. What's
Oh,
he? What's he like
that's fair.
master of? You know?
I mean, I know people in my field sometimes get title of master, though has, I suppose, in different realms it has different connotations. But that's a good question. What any of us know who Master O'Shea is?
I'll have you all roll your first check of the campaign, or rather this game at least, and make me a history check.
16.
16, okay.
15.
Okay. Um, I'll say at least Chelsea and Darwin recognize the name, and you see it. You know this name from several things that you have read in passing. You don't have any direct source of the information, but you know that this gentleman has published some material.
Okay.
I don't know. It still feels like he really shouldn't call himself a master. It sounds kind of weird. He's only wrote some books. Sounds like a author to me.
I mean,
And
some of
then
his writing I thought was pretty good, but no, I do see your point of view.
I don't read that much, to be honest.
Oh, it's very interesting. But yeah, I can see that he has quite a bit of criticism. s- s- he'll kind of like look over, kind of like stumbling over his words, realizing that you're like definitely probably more fit to be in this job than Dalwyn is. Um, so you're applying for the position. So it should be good pay, at least that's from what I heard.
As this conversation is happening, Darko, you hear the people standing close to you will say, debating the title of master and these other things. And after this one individual's come in, please describe yourself and what you're doing standing in this group.
So my name is Darko. I am a warlock tiefling, and I am in the corner of the room, just kind of back to my wall, reading through a tome and kind of just fidgeting with my other hand on the vials that I have wrapped around my waist.
Okay. Are you adding to the conversation at all, or are you just remaining silent?
Just kind of remaining silent. I'm not too talkative per se.
Okay, very good. Besides you, there is an individual of pale skin, a rather large individual, but he's also remaining silent and just kind of watching the conversation overall. Um, now, Snacks, you hear talking behind you, and your Drake Freckles turns his head like around you, like he's to your right side, but the people are behind you to the left. So Freckles like snakes his head around in front of you and looks at the people with a kind of a cocked-eyed head. Um, Please describe yourself and tell me what you're doing about this.
Okay, so I am uh, I'm a short little fella. I have a cowl over my head, trying to sort of disguise myself. But if you were to look under the cowl, you would discover that I am a kobold. Um, and so, for obvious reasons, I am doing my best to sort of, be discreet about that fact. Um, I am. I have some saddlebags on Freckles, uh, and she is just absolutely beautiful. She's the best. Like, you don't even know. I'll explain like in the course of the game, but like she's amazing. Um, and yeah, she has the majority of our stuff just on the saddlebag, but I have my short bow and other various weapons, just not like not showing off, just sort of like to hand. Um, and yes, so you said Freckles looked at this group.
Yeah, Freckles is focused on one individual in particular.
Okay, I will look at the what is Freckles focused on?
Okay. Freckles is looking at a short individual of the group. Nesbitt, do you see this small dragon creature look at you directly after scanning the group. Its vision lands on you and stays there. It flicks its tongue out, and then its mouth holds open into something of a Toothless the Dragon smile as it looks at you.
I was actually Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say.
I was actually going to say that. Go. Go now. Go.
Nesbitt notices the gaze but doesn't immediately do anything. He just keeps the gaze.
Okay, so Flint, say what you're going to say, and then Nesbitt, please describe yourself.
Okay. First, I will say, I am Snacks. Who is Flint? What is Flint? Flint is for fire.
Well, I looked at your name on Discord and it confused me. Sorry.
I'll get to that. No, I'll see to that momentarily. Meantime, that was exactly what I was going to say. That the grin that I'm doing is basically exactly what Freckles is doing, and she's just sitting there with like this big like dog gaping smile, like just sitting there, just grinning.
And what is?
And that's what
Freckles?
I'm doing at the ladies. At the lady at the desk.
Okay.
What color is Freckles?
What is Freckles?
She is a drake,
A drake. Okay.
a large salamander.
To call you on your cell phone.
No.
I made somebody upset about that. Good.
So what color is Freckles?
I did not know I had a choice.
Pick one. We'll figure it out later.
We will. She. It's hard to tell in the lighting of the conference hall.
Hard to
Oh,
tell.
it's kind of dark in here.
It's shadowed. You can't tell if it's a dark green or a black or maybe a brown. It's hard to make out.
Damn my human eyesight.
So, Nesbitt, please describe yourself.
Okay. So Nesbitt is a gnome. He's pretty short. Only about 3 feet and 2 inches. He looks quite old, but in truth, he's only around 70, which is pretty young for a gnome. He is filthy. You look at him, and it looks like he's been living outside in the woods for a long time. And he's got a little wooden shield on one hand, and in the other hand he's carrying around a quarterstaff, and every now and again he'll whisper to his backpack.
Before much
So-
longer, and before you guys have a chance to continue on that, a group of 4 walks in your direction from the long, wide hallway, kind of past the reception desk over to the left, and it continues on. There's a halfling, a dragonborn, and 2 humans. And they're all dressed in very similar colors, like something of a dark blue. And they all look very dirty and generally grumpy in the face. And as they walk past you to head to the foyer and out the door, one of the humans looks at you, specifically at Nesbitt, and says, "Don't expect much. Pretentious Predict thinks he can just ask that," and then just keeps walking.
Nesbitt will chuckle to himself.
I mean, the dude does call himself a master, and like, what's he even a master of, you know?
Has anybody even read the book?
I don't read.
Oh no, I've read quite a few of his books.
Hjalti's gonna like try to like push himself and do like a front flip and land on his feet.
Acrobatics, please.
What's 17 plus 6? 23.
23. Yeah, you nail it.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite impressive.
Yeah, thanks. a little bit limber. Had to do some stretches.
How
Yeah.
old is Hijolti?
He looks like maybe 19 to 20.
Just prime human age, like just absolute peak of his
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah.
Well, that would be his 30s.
Young, dumb, and full of fun.
The lady at the desk looks back at the group who left and back down the hallway, back and forth for a second. Looks down her clipboard. It appears it is time for this group, and she comes up from behind the desk. Would you please follow me? And she gestures with her hand before turning to walk slowly down the hallway.
Yes.
All right. It's a weird dog you got there.
That is a Drake.
Isn't that like a dragon dog?
Of sorts, I guess.
So it's a dog.
She leads you down the long and
What's
wide
its name?
hallway.
Snacks is just getting
Mhm.
quietly furious as this conversation goes on.
As she leads you down this long and wide hallway decorated with portraits of people you don't know, there's just doors and intricate architecture throughout the whole thing, just sweeping arches of hardwood and this immaculate carpet that decorates the whole area. This whole place speaks to like a culture that none of you belong to.
It's weird.
Like humans?
That's rude and racist, kind of.
I mean, it's kind of true, though.
But wow, I didn't expect so much shit from little people.
You're in the minority here, bro.
No, I think there's like at least an average
Look
ratio.
around the room. Look around the room.
There's 3 tiny people. There is 2 medium sized and 1 fucking huge one.
What'd I call you?
I'm the medium sized one. So is the horned guy right over there.
Minority.
Listen, little dog thing.
2 out of 6. 2 out of 6. Does that round? Is that more or less than half?
But I think one of us equates the 2 of you.
She interrupts you guys in your small quarreling. Right before she gets to a large set of double wooden doors. This is the room. What should I introduce your group as? Is there one who wishes to be the face of the group, or should we do all individual names?
Well, I don't even know their names, so we
Yes.
should do like names.
Okay. And she looks at her clipboard. Who would I names, please? Anyone?
Hi, I'm Hjalti.
And she writes that down. She looks at Darko.
Yep, Darko here.
And just down the line, she clicks all of your names, and she then turns around to the doors. You just turn around, gesturing to you with the one finger in the air, grabbing the handle and opening the door very slightly, just cracked. But she's opening the one that's closest to you, so it opens in a way that you can't see inside the room. She steps in for a second, half her body still in the hallway, and you hear her talk to somebody in the room, but you can't make out what they're saying. What's the highest passive perception we have amongst everyone?
22.
Can anybody beat 22 passive perception?
I can.
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
Does anybody want to?
I have a 15.
I got a
thought I was doing good.
I got a free feat for being a human.
Okay. You hear her say, "Are you
Enough
prepared?
reason.
Are you prepared for guests now, Master O'Shea?" But you don't hear a response. And then she comes back out of the room, and she walks up to you guys. Okay, please follow me. And then she turns and he goes over to the room, opens the door all the way, and walks inside. Announcing Nesbitt, Darko, Jalti, Dalwin. I've already lost track myself. This is my bad. She introduces all your names and then kind of gestures for you to enter. And then after you guys enter, she bows out and closes the door behind her. You guys see a large conference table in this room, suitable for about 20 people, with a room of size to match. And at the far side, there's an old man sitting. He has a puffy fur coat on what seems to be a very smallish frame, and he has a hand on a glass goblet with an ornate metal stem. Obviously, having been nursing it for some time, because it has markings of wine being refilled and then emptied, and there is a bucket of ice next to him with an opened long neck bottle. Beside him, there is a muscular, dark-skinned human sitting to his right, wearing a fur vest, no shirt, and decorated in some sort of tribal tattoo and jewelry. And they both just stare at you silently.
What did O'Shea? What race did he look like again?
You have not seen a picture of him otherwise. The old man at the end of the room is human.
Okay, just two human.
Just two humans.
Hi.
Is this where we get the job? I'm here for the job.
Yes.
He gestures towards the chairs, without saying a word.
The job is with the chairs. What do you need me to do? I can break them. I can I can
think
clean
he-
them for you.
I think he wants us to sit.
Investigate the chairs.
That makes a lot more sense.
My name is Master Leonidas O'Shea. This is my personal assistant, Julius. You are the third group that has come in to interview for this position. I need to hire several professionals to help with the upcoming Convergence Gala being thrown by a man known as Monsieur Boumier. Are any of you affiliated?
No. How do you spell that?
I'll post it in chat. If I can highlight my notes correctly, remains to be seen. Go here to that. Okay. He is throwing this event as a gesture of international cooperation and as a celebration of progress. It is bullshit. I will attend, and while I do require some warm bodies to escort an old man of my station, I will also require professionalism, neatness, tactfulness, intelligence, and above all, discretion. Why should I hire any of you? And he takes a long sip from his goblet.
What are you a master of?
He looks to his companion, Julius, for a second, and then back to you. Explorer of the skies, cartographer, and discoverer of mysteries. I have many published works about discoveries that happened scientifically and magically in the last several years, and I would have thought you would have been familiar with me since you came this far to interview with me.
I need money.
As
I'm
good
going to say that I've.
Yeah. Go ahead, Darwin.
Well, I mean, a couple of us have read a couple of your books. Definitely very well put together theories and discoveries. It's kind of like fidgeting. But may I ask a question before we answer yours?
He nods.
Why would you be against a gala of advancement? Surely someone of your profession would be very appreciative of it.
Because the event is not an event purely as the title introduces itself. I have reason to believe, and he thinks for a second, I have a reason to believe that this is not what it seems, and we'll start with that. I'm not against the event of a gala. I'm against what Master Boumier has made himself to be.
So it's like a front for some bullshit.
We'll get there. First, if you don't have any other questions, then I redirect you to my previous statement. Why should I hire any of you to be my escort to this event? where you will get unlimited access to high-end food and drink and companionship of a high regard of society, while also keeping my secrets and safety.
Well, I can definitely keep your safety and secrets. Do you need like a demonstration or anything?
What,
Maybe like he's like over there flexing.
none of you brought a resume or anything?
What's a resume?
I feel like Dolan would have brought something.
He sighs and like almost he puts down his goblet a little bit too hard. References, examples of work, anything, work history, who you've been with, who you're currently affiliated with, any information at all I can verify or go off of to see who you are or have been in the past.
Oh,
You might know my family. I come from a family of people that sell exotic animals. Animals nobody else can procure alive.
Who's your family?
The Old Bark family.
I know them very well. This is not my direct report or any involvement, but I have heard of your respectable work. That is very good. Anyone else have anything to say?
I am with the Yon Control.
Okay, and what do you do for the Alcatraz?
I'm a servant hand with them.
Which means, and he does the circular hand gesture.
You know, I can just do like a bunch of really cool shit that they taught me.
Impressive, vague, don't care. Moving on. Anyone else? Come on, let's go. This isn't an interview for like a bouncer at a bar.
Where'd I come from? The Spinstar Farms. Perhaps you've heard of us. Near Carthage.
Vaguely. What did you do at the farms? Were you a farmhand, tending to cows?
Well, sometimes, but I was also an alchemist, learned from Mom and Pa. Was able to put different kinds of solvents in alchemical concoctions together. Quite successful at it, too.
Hmm. What
Here,
is
I can demonstrate.
what is the
And he's
most...
gonna like pull out a vial.
Okay.
If you would like to.
He's very skeptically looking at you, but not in disgust or disapproval.
Right. Darwin will very slowly walk up to where the goblet is. Now I can assure you this is not a poison, but drinking it will surely heighten your senses. Your mind.
You probably shouldn't say this is not a poison and then try to get them to drink something.
No, but it's
I
not.
didn't say it heightens their senses afterwards, because even if it's not a poison, it sounds like you're drugging him.
No, but I mean, it technically is a drug, kind of. I mean, it's a fairly harmless concoction.
You know, at least he's up front with it.
You know what? I'll try it. I'll try it.
He'll kind of like nod, and then he will hand Nesbitt the vial.
Okay.
Nesbitt will smell it. How does it smell?
It smells very herby, almost like kind of like Everclear.
Oh, okay, okay. He'll draw in real deep, and a smile will dance across his face, and then he will drink it all.
Okay.
What did you give him?
I gave him a vial of sagacity. So the intelligence score increases by 3, but
No.
you now have this. Huh?
It's sagacity, your mutagen.
Yes.
Okay, then Nesbitt, as you drink it, it has a flavor about it that once it hits your palate, it immediately dissipates, and it goes from tasting like a strong herbal alcohol to that of something like water, and just almost evaporates in your mouth.
Man,
You're after a moment, Darwin, you recall having had your father try your mutagens, and they have no effect on anybody whose blood does not reside in the mutagen.
Ah. Well, that's did it not work? Do you feel enlightened by chance? And you see him like pull out like a piece of paper with like a pen, despite this being an interview.
Enlightened, my boy. I always feel enlightened. Was that what it was supposed to do?
Kind of. I'll just write it down as a perhaps something stronger then. Anyway, yes, he quickly turns back to O'Shea. That is what I've done. Yes.
Well, regardless of the final effect, at least you have some experience in something alchemical or educational. What about you there? What can you do? He's pointing, looking at Darko.
Well, I am very mysterious, and I don't really like sharing what I do with people because they might be involved or get involved with the dark things that I try to run away from.
Interesting. Not unuseful. Not unuseful. Anything else I should know about the group in general?
O'Shea, who are these people with you? I'm pretty sure you described multiple people around O'Shea.
Say again.
Take this.
Did you not describe the other people around O'Shea that weren't part of the group?
Yeah, there's one person, the dark-skinned human who he described as his associate named Julius.
And did he give us their name?
Yeah, Julius is his name.
I just wanted to know if the player characters knew the name. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
then in that case, instead, Nesbitt will turn to Julius and say, Julius, what is it that you do for O'Shea?
He looks at you, and he has his arms crossed this whole time, and like this permanent scowl on his face. And he looks at O'Shea and then over to you. Security.
And then you see Nesbitt shake his head and murmur something while wiggling his fingers. And O'Shea hears Julius's voice from behind him saying security.
I don't know if I like what you're doing there or not, but it is
Impressive,
impressive.
no?
It is impressive, nonetheless.
So Julius is in charge of keeping him. He's keeping O'Shea safe, safety guy.
Appears to be.
Has to watch out for the for any O'Shea violations.
Get out.
Love you.
Are any of you physically fit enough to throw someone out of an establishment if it would be to become unruly?
I feel like I'm the most physically fit here out of all of us. Do you want like a demonstration?
If
I want to pick up
Go ahead.
Dash's character.
Mm-hmm.
Wee!
I'm gonna toss him out the room.
Come on, he's like 50 pounds.
So-
Pick up
Oh, my.
somebody bigger.
So you pick up.
As I go flying out of the room, I shout, "Avenge me!"
Like that?
Well, it was. Yes, that's a good show. Anyway, was he just here for the demonstration?
No, I think he's applying too.
I walk back into the room casually and say, "Ta-da!"
I appreciate your showmanship. What can you do?
Yes. No, I'm just kidding. I don't actually talk like that. I do it to freak people out.
He takes another long drag
So-
of wine.
Anyway. If you need eyes, we are eyes. We are eyes from above. We can be eyes separate. Or together. we can run reconnaissance.
You, but by we you mean your dragon thing there.
I think that's a dog.
Yes, she and I are partners. And when I say we, I am referring to my partner here.
Okay, so you're good at scouting. Yeah, not unuseful. Welcome, Nero. We are at the table interviewing for this position with the rest of the guys who are in a group open interview, and you're before Master O'Shea and his his assistant, a dark-skinned human named Julius. I don't believe you've spoken this entire time, Mr. And he waits for your response, Nero.
Me?
Mhm.
Oh. So, wait. Quick setting. Where are we at real quick? What are we doing?
You're in a high-end conference room pictured here on Roll20. It is a very upscale series of meeting rooms, so it's just carpet and intricate carvings on everything hardwood, and there's a long 20-person conference table before you in the similarly shaped room, and you guys are sitting at the conference table or around and about, and Master O'Shea is sitting on the far side, on the far end from where you came in.
Oh, okay.
And you forgot that you have to give a speech, and you're in your underwear, and your teeth are falling out.
That's on you. I'm always in my underwear.
Oh no.
So please describe your character first, then Master O'Shea asked you to introduce yourself.
Okay, character. I'm a half Goliath, half Furbolg. I have like pearlescent skin that have random ass scales on them. Blue-ish, like ice-colored hair, ice-colored goatee. Hair is long, like undercut in braids, and like in a ponytail back from that. Do we have our weapons with us right now?
Yeah, they weren't taken.
Okay, I have a big ass maul. Looks like it's made out of stone. And then I'm just wearing like normal, random barbarian armor. And you see random ass draconic features and tattoos and whatnot.
Okay. So how do you respond to Master O'Shea?
Okay, what do you say? I've been quiet this whole time, and what else?
What can you do? Basically, is what he wants to know. Why should he hire you for this job?
And it's guard.
Yep.
All right, I'm doing guard stuff. My skills are
Difficult to communicate. Difficult to communicate, apparently. Well, go on. I haven't got all night. Are you there?
Yes.
He was so offended by that. He was like, no.
That's what I was thinking.
We're going to the water park and camping tomorrow, so
Okay.
Jess was making sure she had everything.
Cool.
I am very useful when it comes to physical altercations or the prevention of physical altercations.
Oh, same, bro.
I have pursued a life of trophy hunting in a way.
Yeah, boast on your successes. What have you done?
Successes.
Have you had any successes?
I mean, I've had a few I would count as successes. I'm just going to start naming off the random creatures that I've slain up until this point.
Creatures, specifically creatures, not people too.
Well, I don't want to name those off, obviously.
As you list off the long list of several things you've been hired to kill and protect people from, he nods and just nods along the entire list. As you conclude, his nodding stops, and he looks to Julius and gives a quick head turn, or like a gesture. And then Julius stands, and he's taller than you expected. The table was hiding the morning star he has sashed to his waist against tight leather pants he has on. And Julius goes over to the door and opens it and looks outside into the hallway, and you can tell by his body he's looking left and right. Coming back in, he shuts the door, then locks the door, and then stands in front of it with his arms crossed. And he's just still holding his ever-present scowl and looks back to Master O'Shea. What I actually need are professional thieves. Now, the guardship isn't a falsehood. I do require some degree of security. But, you see, I've had something stolen from me, and I intend to have it thieved back.
Well, do you want them to know it was you that took it back?
Absolutely not. Of course, Maswa Boumier will have his suspicions, and you could have a sense that he would know what has happened, but he could not prove anything. At least that's what my intent would be.
Well, from my experience, dead men can't talk.
I do not want Boumier assassinated. Nobody is to be hurt during this mission. At least not intentionally. Especially not in a way that can be traced back. Maswa Boumier was a former friend of mine, who went scouting with me on a skyship for purposes of cartography and discovery.
So why would he steal from you?
I'm getting to it. He just to the sand. We scoured the entire continent, making notes of every major city and landmark as we passed by them above, and plotted them accurately, wags a finger, on the map now commonly available in most markets. We explored for many weeks, never leaving the skyship. Just he and I alone for hours, days. Anyway, we took note of several places that had potential for discovery of valuables for research and different architectures and past societies and things, and we agreed to share everything we gained through this equally. But just when it came time to execute on this agreement, at least after a certain point, he kept the largest prize for himself. Just because he almost died retrieving it all alone. I'm sure if I would have thought the mission even remotely achievable, I would have allocated time away from the dinner I had scheduled. Anywho, he plans to unveil this artifact at the gala in front of every single notable person in our professional circles. He will claim this discovery for himself. I know it. It's the way he is, and I can smell it a mile off. And it's not right. He's just scanning the room to judge your responses to what he's just said.
Well, that is quite unfortunate.
That's a tragedy, bro. So
Nesbitt
sad.
is just shaking his head in agreement.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Thus, I am
I
willing
can
to
agree.
pay. I'm willing to pay for this item. Its use now is unknown. It resists all attempts of disseminating its purpose, but it grants boons, and it's highly magical in any regard. And I want my name attributed to this item. Steal it back from me, and I will pay you well. I've allocated about 200 gold each.
Wow, that's pretty nice.
Is this a task you believe you can achieve? To retrieve an item from within the compound, within range of many important and high-end figures?
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sneaky. I don't. If there's gonna be locked doors, I don't have anything to get past the locked door besides like breaking it down.
If I know Maswa Boumier, I know that there will be many locked doors, magical traps, and preventative measures taken for all of his at least important items. Now, he has I'm sure his treasures and bank locked away somewhere safe and different, but this item being revealed this evening, or rather the evening of the event, it will be more accessible, hopefully. So, although it might be behind locked doors or under guard, it will at least be accessible. It's not to say that you won't be having to deal with some guardian creatures or magical spells or physical guards that are in the way that I do not necessarily want killed, any number of things. I do not know what lies before you, in short.
Would you happen to have a set of tools to get past doors that thieves commonly use?
I would not. I know that you might be able to find something like that around about before you get there. The event is off for 2 days, but the doors themselves I could not speak to. Surely maybe some guards have keys that run the compound. Maybe you can pickpocket some of them. I don't know. I'm hiring you professionals.
Could we have perhaps some funds up front to prepare ourselves better for this mission?
I don't know. I kind of feel like, if you want professional thieves, then, like, why don't you just put a job ad for professional thieves?
Because most of the professional thieves that I am aware of are, if not under the direct purview of the Gwillens, they are at least affiliated in some way, and the Gwillens are going to be attending the event.
Well, if you put a job title out asking for, like, help, then you kind of get what you pay for when you don't get professional thieves and you get amateur thieves instead.
Well,
You
they
weren't
won't
really-
see us coming. They'll be looking for professional thieves.
Yes,
I'm just in the context of his, like, job ad, like, he shouldn't expect professionalism, especially in, like, the thieving variety, if he wasn't up front that that's what he wanted it to begin with.
Well, I can't say my approach is ideal. I did what I thought was best to try and maintain some sense of low-keyness, as it's been said.
It's not very master-like, I'm just saying.
Look, I can't go just around posting flyers for thieves, all right? Especially not at the time when everybody knows that I'm going to be gone away at a gala.
So not a guild that exactly specializes in that.
I said already. God, help me. The professional thieves that I am aware of and have contacts with work directly for the Gwillens. The Gwillens will be at this event, and they will know that their men have been hired.
Okay, I get it.
I just don't want you to get, like, your hopes too up or anything like that. Like, we'll
Dalwin,
try it.
Dalwin, make a persuasion check, please.
Okay. Let's...
And do it with advantage, since everybody has been backing you about how you are not professional thieves and could use some help.
19.
Look, I'll give you half now and half when the job is complete. That way you have some funds to arm yourselves and prepare, and for God's sake, get some decent clothes for the event at least. You don't have to be identical or anything. You're just there as my guests, but at least clean yourselves.
I definitely appreciate that.
Is that fair enough?
I think that's fair. And he'll, like, turn to the rest of the group.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he, like, sniffs his armpits. I don't think I smell, like, too bad or anything.
The object you're locating is an orb. It is about less than a foot wide, but perfectly spherical, polished. It looks like a white marble sort of material. It has not been fully researched yet. It's located deep within the compound, I can only assume. And I want to say that should you fail in any regard, meaning that should you get caught stealing or defacing property, murdering people, your failures are your own, and I will claim that you must have used me in an attempt to gain wealth for yourself. I cannot have myself tied to such failures, and my reputation will see that nothing will be in question on my side. That is why I'm also paying so well. Do we have an understanding?
Totes.
It does not mean that you will not get paid for the fullness of the job once everything is complete, even if you get caught doing something, but publicly, I will not have any affiliation. Now, if we have an accord, and he stands up, and like you see now that he has a cane beside his chair that he grabs and pushes himself up on, and Julius turns and unlocks the door, and Master O'Shea begins to walk towards Julius. We will meet at the foothills of the Boumier estate, a few miles north of here, in 2 days' time. And he stops before he gets to the door, realizes that he forgot, and turn around, and he'll reach down and look in his coin purse he has tied to his side. He opens it and counts out a few things, and he hands 10 platinum to each of you. You'll be given to each of you. Each of you get 10 platinum. You'll be given tokens associating you with me at that time, and we will continue from there. Any questions at this time? Nope. Good. Julius, we're leaving. And he...
Wait.
Go on.
If you don't want us to be associated with you, do you want us to like go in together with you, just in case?
Oh
things
no,
went bad?
you will be associated with me officially. We will enter. You will meet me at the foothills outside of the Boumier estate, and
It's just if we get caught, you had
Yes.
nothing to do with it.
yes,
Yeah, okay, I get you.
until that time, you'll be officially associated with me with pins and everything fancy that says this guy is with Master O'Shea. He's cool.
Cool.
He'll
Bye.
Benedict will call out to Julius again and point at O'Shea and say, "Julius, do your job!" And an illusion of an arrow through O'Shea's chest will appear.
Julius is going to draw his morning star and then look at O'Shea, panicked, and then look across the room and then over at you, and his face kind of hardens. And he puts.
I'm gonna get behind little dude, and I'll be like, "Don't worry, Julius, I got you," and I will cast minor illusion and look like I'm like shooting him in the back of the head.
Shoot who? Shooting who?
You.
Me. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just do like minor illusion to make it look like I don't know the same thing.
I thought you were also targeting O'Shea. I was like, my God, man, we
Hey,
just took a job.
hang on, I used to roll some dice. Hang on. He looks.
Y'all remember that?
Go on.
Y'all remember in Halo how you could lose the game like before you even left the ship if you
Yeah.
shot Captain Keys? I think we might be doing that right now.
I'm not doing it to the old man. It's just so everybody knows. I'm doing it to Anthony's guy.
Most assuredly, Nesbitt is doing it to the old man.
Well,
There appears to be only visually. It can't make any noise. It doesn't emit sound or anything. But visually, it looks like there's an arrow sticking out of O'Shea.
now, minor illusion is also just a visual, correct?
Minor illusion is just a visual. There are no sounds unless you specify that it is a sound, in which case it's a little different.
So,
Yeah.
so Hizalti, acts like he's. You said shooting.
Yeah, I guess he'd do like a little like hand crossbow or something.
Oh, so you are you doing like a Yu Yu Hakusho finger bang thing kind of thing?
Yeah, to the little dwarf guy. I assume he's a dwarf.
Gnome.
I just assumed.
And so all this happens, but silently. And luckily, Julius rolled high on this, and he looks back to O'Shea, who was just looking fine but confused, and he sees no arrow anymore. Looks back to Nesmith and see that you're still standing, and puts his, reholsters his morning star slowly, and then opens the door. It's just practice.
Oh, go ahead.
It's just practice. They're just getting out their kinks. It's fine. We hired them for a job. We're leaving discreetly. And he just leaves past Julius, and Julius looks back at you guys. And then after lingering for a second longer, he also follows. O'Shea?
Don't mind us, we're just kinky.
So what are you guys doing now that you've been left in this room?
That's
I think that went pretty good.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, I
seal
guess
everything.
anything that's not bolted down, right?
Is
No,
it
Those
Nesbitt
two
wine cup
wouldn't
still
do
there?
that.
Yeah, the cup is still there and the wine.
Yalti's gonna go drink it.
Nesbitt pulls his bag from his back and starts whispering into it. It's okay, Reggie. We're almost done.
Hey, who you talking to? I can hear you.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's an imaginary friend.
Oh, so you're crazy. Oh, cool.
Did that?
He-
What's the thing
he-
you had to drink?
You know, it tasted really good, like a spirit, and then it tasted like water.
Oh, that's disappointing.
What is it?
It's a solution that is supposed to increase your the sharpness of your mind.
Hmm.
I have not got to work on anybody else. I've tried before. Was hoping try another kind of formula to see if it would work, and it didn't.
Is it like a potion, or is it like a witch's brew?
He kind of like puts his hand up and does kind of thing. Sort of.
Hmm. I would like to investigate it. May I?
I mean, I guess would he have another more on him, or would that be it?
That'll be it. You can only make one of
Okay.
these a day.
Yep. Unfortunately, that was the last one I had.
Ah, bummer.
How big
Perhaps
is
the next time
Nero?
you have one, I could take a look at it. I might be able to tell you what kind of ingredients you're missing.
He seems a little bit nervous, and seems a little bit hesitant. Well, perhaps.
For the sake of expediency, having your gold and your assignment, you all have 2 days before you're to meet at the foothills outside of the Boumier estate. What would you guys like to do in the meantime?
I need to find a set of thieves' tools.
Okay. We'll say so that you guys all have 100 gold or 10 platinum each, on top of anything else you have in your inventory. Anything that you can buy on D&D Beyond at market value would be acceptable. For the most part. If it's anything magical, let me know, but anything mundane is easy to come by in this area.
Alright, I got it. I guess I'd try to find, like, nicer clothes than what I have right now.
Okay. It's nice.
But I want it to be, like, fucking, just like a really cool looking kimono or some shit.
Okay. And for those of you who are full or half casters, for fun of the game, since this was sort of a deception on the advertisement, you may change your spells to better reflect what you want to use during this game, if that's an issue.
I'm a druid. I can change my stuff every time I long rest.
You sure can, and there's 2 days, so you're all set.
Mine are just there forever.
Then you can change those now if you wish for the fun of this adventure.
No, I mean, like, I literally can't change them.
Why would we want to?
Oh, I see.
I mean, why would we want to change them? Just out of curiosity.
I'm just saying if you built, like, for example, if you built a sorcerer as a total DPS firecaster, but you learned just now you're going to be thieving stuff, if you want to change spells because of that, then that's totally fine with me.
Ah, got it. Thank you.
No problem. So with that said, any other questions or delays before we proceed?
Nope. Has everybody explained their characters already?
Yeah.
When you look at Nesbict, you'll see a small gnome,
What-
about 70 years old. He's in tattered clothing. He looks like he's been hanging out in the woods for years.
Is that a gnome?
Yeah, gnome.
He's a
Like
gnome.
70 years young for a gnome?
70
Yeah.
years is young for a gnome, but he has grown out his hair.
For more or less what you see on everybody's character icons here is what you get, except for you because you haven't updated yours yet.
On what?
Roll 20, at least for me.
Oh, refresh it. It should be updated. Doing big boy.
Hjalti is human man, about 6 foot. Looks like me in body type, but he's like a lot more toned than I am.
How'd you say his name?
Hjalti.
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 Is that with an H or a K?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Hjalti.
Bjorn.
Hilty.
Yeah.
What'd you say? Nesbitt?
Yes.
Is that Darko? Yep, Darko.
Yep, Darko.
Man, is everybody else's like icon on Roll20 have like a little thing that says join voice and video?
Yeah.
Click on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's
If
the
you
reason
click on it,
see-
you can mute and then pause yourself, and then you can see your regular icon, your regular avatar.
I clicked on it.
I
and-
see mute and pause on everybody.
Yep.
Everybody's-
Hilti, if you click on it, you should notice that you then have the ability to click on the mic and then click on pause. When
I don't know. I clicked on it and like my guy went away and everybody else's is over top of me now. So I'm like
Oh,
moving them all.
you clicked in the top right corner. Then you have to click more in the center of your icon.
Motherfucker.
Move your guy too.
What you might have to do if you've moved it and it's now behind and you can't get it, you got it. Okay, cool. Never mind.
Okay. I'm gonna refresh now because that's fucking me up.
Oh,
So-
somebody died.
While I guess we're waiting, Nesbitt will turn to the others and ask, so where's the nearest place to clean up?
Is there like a river around here?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh yeah, there's definitely nearby a few rivers and creeks, especially heading down towards Woodengard Vista, where the Boomier estate is.
Let's go bathe in the creek, bud.
Is anybody from here?
I am not.
Where is here?
Where we are currently at?
I mean, like, where is it?
You,
I
you're
don't know where the fuck here is.
you are west of Zlosis, kind of like in between Branonashim and Zlosis, which is in the central of the continent.
Are you playing music on Discord or Roll20?
Roll 20.
Okay,
Is it too loud?
I got it. I can turn it down. I just didn't know where to go to attempt it.
Yeah.
It's not too loud. Like, it's fine. Just nobody else over here is loud enough.
So having time to prep yourself, and you can do that continually in the background if you need to. You guys eventually have yourselves supplied, cleaned up, and are waiting, eventually all meeting back up together at the foothills of the Boomier estate. The night is cool and calm. It's not quite sundown yet, but it's getting close. The stars are already poking themselves through and abundant through the clouds, and the clouds in the distance where the sun is going down seemed almost painted in the sky. The night came sooner than expected, and the lights from the Boomier estate look comfortably warm. You guys stand in the short grassed fields near the dedicated path waiting for your patron. in these last moments, is there anything you'd like to do before you believe your patron should be here at any moment?
So how good's everybody at like sneaking around and shit?
Good.
Not bad.
I'm very good at it.
Good.
I can. So I kind of know how to like make us all a little bit better at it. But if I do, it's kind of gonna fuck me up out of some of my own personal energy. So if like we were to get in a fight or anything like that, I wouldn't really be at, peak physical performance. But if you guys stay around me whenever I do this, like we'll be pretty good at sneaking around.
Save it in case we don't. Save it until we need it.
All right.
Yeah?
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never really had to do much sneaking, but when it's come up, it's not been a problem.
And soon you see a horse-drawn carriage crest the hill about 100 feet from you. Then another. Then another. 4 carriages present in total, and they present themselves and stop before you on the path. The second one in line opens up, and Julia steps out. These carriages are larger than you've ever seen, being very much larger than an average sized caravan. I see your message, Channing. I'll play that in 1 second. After Julie steps out, he's wearing a light blue, tight-fitting doublet with gray shorts that come about to mid-thigh. And he stands next to the door of the carriage and gestures you inside wordlessly. Side note, does anybody know how to pronounce that word? Is it doublet? Doublet? Did I say that right?
I think double it.
Good to know.
Like the clothing?
I like the clothing,
Yeah.
yes.
It's just double
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Doublet.
That's what he's wearing.
You're just getting too into the French of this.
Yeah, I assumed it was French. So it's the smallest cramped space on the inside, but I'm assuming you all entered the space?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm gonna be tons of it big.
Yep.
I'd be like, can I get on top of it and just peek my head in?
You can do that, I suppose.
Okay, there's not hardly any room in here. I'm just gonna sit up here for a second.
Okay, and you're talking through what is basically a moonroof on top of the carriage that you've opened yourself.
Just like, hey, I got really good hearing, so you guys can just talk and I'll listen.
So you all more or less fit inside. Snacks, your Drake crawls onto your lap, just dwarfing you, but sitting like a large puppy on a small person kind of thing.
Great Dane on a midget.
Exactly. Now, you all have been...
Well, she's getting her belly rubs then.
You all have been registered as the help, and he does like air quotes, to myself and Julius. You are to be seen, not heard, and I mean that quite literally. With the exception of small talk and the obvious blending in, you need to be seen in the main chambers with us, and you have to perform menial tasks until asked otherwise. I won't ask, a lot, just to keep up appearances, to bring drinks, take our coats, and otherwise act as guards and servants. You are to wear these to signify that you're under my employ. And he reaches under his seat and pulls out a small box and opens it up. And it's a little push-button latch on the box. And he has 6 pendants about the size of a gold piece inside. He passes them out to you. They all have pins on the back. And the front is shaped like something of a shield with a falcon on a blue field. Wear these and you should have no trouble on the main level or courtyard, servants' quarters, yada yada. Beyond that, you are on your own. I don't have any real idea where he would have put something like this. So you'll have to gather some intel after we arrive, after you establish yourself in normal capacity. But it is the size of Nero's head, and he gestures towards Nero, so it should be kind of hard to mistake when you find it. But it could be in literally any space it could fit. After the party is called to order, I'll pull you aside and give you a briefing on who is who and what's important here, and give you any additional information that I have. And afterwards, you can feel free to roam, but be aware that I can call you back at any time in case something happens. You should act like you are keeping watch, but do not get caught poking around anywhere that could be considered intrusive. You understand?
Yes. What's this dude's name again?
Understood.
Master Oshay.
So is this orb like, will it kill us if we touch it or anything?
I don't believe so.
That doesn't sound very reassuring.
Well, it's a magical item, and I don't have. We haven't researched it yet. That was the whole thing. This is the unveiling, and the research begins after.
I love that that's a fucking racial thing for a kobold.
So you guys, where am I at here? I've lost my place. Okay. So you guys arrive at the manor as the carriage slows to a halt, and Fjalti has a better view than anyone from where he's at. And as the carriage slows to a halt, a voice from outside declares, "Master O'Shea!" And you can see, Hjalti, that it's one of the greeters at on the steps of the manor. Let me move our visual over. Can you guys see everything? It's a big boy of a map.
Yes.
I can, but it's 3 pixels, and now it's way more detailed.
Yeah.
We're good.
Okay.
Oh my god, it's huge.
Yes, it's big.
That's what she said.
Oh my god.
Down here?
A little bit.
Yeah, you guys. You needn't worry just yet. But I just want to draw for your visual here. You guys came in from this direction. That's a bad color for that. Oh my god. Let's
Do like what?
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
Here, Mom?
We'll do red. You guys came in from this direction. That's where the carriage came in, and you stopped right about.
I still don't see it.
It's red. Right,
Right
over.
over here.
I see this. Yes.
Okay, so that square is where the carriage has stopped.
So we're getting out
Uh,
there.
Well, that's where the carriage stopped, and after his name was called, he would do me this way, move, and he like kind of stumbles over all of you before getting righted.
Why is
for-
my damn thing so big?
That I couldn't tell you.
Fine, fuck it. I'm bigger than all y'all.
He steps out of the carriage and almost trips doing so. You see that there's a small group of people communing outside the front door of the manor on the large patio atop a set of stairs that turn to watch Master O'Shea and start to giggle at the old man as he's almost falling out of the carriage. And some offer small claps, and just O'Shea stands as proudly as he can, then looks back to the lot of you. And Julius comes out directly after him and stands beside O'Shea. "Brilliant show, Mr. Blue," says one of the people at the front of the manor says, and they start kind
Shut
of
the door for me.
laughing a little bit. This gentleman has a very pale face with colorful blue and green accents done with makeup around the eyes. It kind of looks like peacock feathers. "Only the best for you, Sir White Plume." And then after that, some of the people with the stairs turn and go back inside. The building is of dazzling pale stone and stands amid a manicured garden on all sides. It's like a wedding cake on a royal table, the way this thing is laid out with several layers that stack on top of each other. several chimneys stand proudly on top of the gables and dormers, each kind of like a unique swirl of masonry designed to really fit pleasantly but still decoratively on top of the building. Well, come on, let's kind of move on. He just kind of hobbles his way towards it up the stairs. I'm assuming you guys follow?
Yep.
Okay. After you guys make your way through, there's a flurry of motions as people tend to have the carriages move forward and through the train. They exit the other side of the manor and go to get placed somewhere. And as you walk in, there are two gala greeters wearing green suits and accented vests. Welcome to the Boomier Convergence Gala. And they just did grand gestures and over-the-top decorations both on themselves and around the entrance to the building.
Hey, do you cost 2 mana?
So
I go in.
let me switch you guys to a different view. Now this is going to be hidden for a second. And let me reveal what you guys can see. Nope, that's the wrong one. There.
Snacks now suspects that you are a slaver.
Okay,
It
so
was a magic joke.
I know,
so
but I've never played, so I didn't get it. Snacks.
everybody,
Snacks now suspects that you are a slaver.
everybody, feel free to place your tokens on the map there, just in the foyer or right inside.
Oh shit, yeah, we can move.
Yeah, I'm right now. No, I think.
You were just massive outside.
Yeah, I'm right now.
How big is Nero?
Look real quick. I am 7'7".
Alright. So yeah, you're like almost 2 feet taller than me. Not really.
250.
You're like 1.5 feet taller than me.
I'm probably more than
7'7". That's almost 3 times as me.
I'm a big boy.
I did not know I was supposed to establish how tall I was.
Kobolds are pretty small, so you probably wouldn't be more than like
Yeah,
3.5 feet.
I literally just told DM, yeah, I'm a little guy, and that he asked no
Sure.
further questions, so I figured that was as far as we needed to go.
No further questions. I mean, you can elaborate if you want to. It's not a huge deal, pun intended.
So, Javine, I forgot your character's name, and I'm sorry.
Dolwyn.
Dolan, okay.
Dolwyn. Yeah.
Dalwyn.
Dolwyn, okay.
Like Uncle Dolan.
That's what I thought for a second. He's smaller, right?
Yeah, he's literally just above 3.5 feet.
Does he look like a halfling?
Yeah, he's a halfling, yes.
Okay.
Could you go into your settings, Dolwyn, and select personalization and display, and under display name, type in Dolwyn.
Let's see this.
Awesome.
There you go.
I'm actually going to hide about.
Snacks.
I'm going to hide that back
Stash.
half just for now.
Thanks, Javine.
Okay. So inside, performers tune their instruments in advance of the attendants' arrival at this posh affair. Along the entrance hall to the ballroom is a line made up of several different people of high regard, starched in their best dresses and suits and different dresses of this regard. Foreign ambassadors, clad in idiosyncratic fashions, rich nobles and landowners. You can't tell who is who. These aren't your people. But they all look very, like they think that they're very important. There's even a giant black direwolf accompanied by an auburn-haired elven lady, finely dressed in a deep blue gown fashioned after the night sky. Looking more strikingly, though, both elf and wolf bear 7 glowing runes that mark them as former rulers of the kingdom across the sea, Osarian, Tor, and Phelan, at least those that are the more book-read among you. Sticking close to them are an elven man who resembles the former queen, and a large brown bear, undoubtedly another one of the gifted Phelan pairs, although they bear no runes of their own. There's also an almond-skinned woman in the room, dressed in a flowing white robe. You hear someone address as Baroness in passing, and several others that you're sure aren't even in view, probably roaming the estate as you just entered. Every goblet and piece of silverware has been polished to a mirror sheen, and every servant stands ready to attend at a second's notice as the kitchen staff and wait staff prepare to dole out endless hors d'oeuvres and drinks to those attending the gala as they mill about the room. Monsieur Boumier tings a cup of sparkling wine. At least you're assuming it's him, as he's the most centralized person in the room and the old man of the group, more or less. So you're assuming it's him, as he tings a cup of sparkling wine with a fork to get everyone's attention. I think most everyone has arrived. Welcome to the Convergence Gala. Tonight we celebrate the coming together of the gods have bestowed to us, both 10 millennia ago and again today. We assemble from the farthest corners of Icarthus here to enjoy friendly company and to share experiences. At the end of the night, I have a very special announcement. I have made a new discovery and wish for you all to be the first to lay eyes upon it. For now, please everyone enjoy my estate. Make yourselves at home. Everything private is behind locked doors, and my private museum is open upstairs as well as my library. Dinner will be announced shortly. And then after he pauses for a moment, you hear some clapping around the room. So what do you guys do in this brief moment?
Halsey will look around at the party and be like, have you guys ever not felt in a place anymore? This is just way too fancy for my tastes.
Been in many places like this, though none quite so grand.
Darko, well, you've been silent. What are you up to? What's on your mind?
Hey Darko, you've been silent. What's on your mind?
So I'm kind of just keeping to myself. I keep hearing voices in my head, and I'm trying to make it seem like, nothing really is going on because I don't want to get anybody involved. But I'm just absorbing all sorts of information.
I noticed that you've been reading that book occasionally. Is it from an author famous?
I can't really say who the author is, but I do like to indulge myself in the unknown arts. So I do read a lot of books that have to do with other planes, per se.
Oh. Well, that's quite interesting. Seems very, almost elusive subject. So you're a scholar of sorts, then?
You could say something like that.
After a moment of scanning the room, Oshay comes back to you guys, and he kind of
Get off of me, or I swear to God, I'll climb you like a tree.
Pardon?
And Nero just keeps trying to climb on us for some reason. I know he's big, but he's trying to show it off.
If he said that, I'm just gonna pick him up and set him on my shoulder.
Whoa, hey.
Okay, Oshay comes over and tries to get you guys to basically huddle up. Okay, we have leaders of several major businesses here, representatives of the uncontrolled hierarchy, and the bishop himself, an actual royalty from Phelan's court and Negotia. Fuck me. Okay, there are more important people here than I expected to actually show up. I would have worn my Wascalian robes if I had known. Oh, even the Wolf Queen and her son. How was my hair?
Your hair looks great, Nate.
Yeah, you look awesome.
Oshay.
You gonna try to tap that?
What?
Yeah, you know, you're gonna try to. He's like, he makes a circle out of his finger and there's like sticking his finger through it. You know, you're gonna polish the old pistol.
With who?
The pistol that doesn't exist.
He's going to put a finger up under your chin, Hjalti. Pray she did not hear you, her wolf, or her bear son. Please do not embarrass me, and do not fail me. Remember, I will not bail you out if you do. Go mingle or whatever for a minute before you get to work. Act casual. Boomier! My old friend! And he walks through you over to Boomier and begins conversation. So at this time, I will reveal to you the whole room, and you can tell me what you guys are doing.
Rich people always smell this bad.
Oh my god.
Did you see his teeth?
It's a big old furry fella. Get off of me! And I jump off of Nero and I run up to the giant beast thing.
Yeah, how hard it is not to want to go hug that.
You have a 20 what perception, Hjalti?
I have a 22.
22. So, yeah, Hjalti, as you walk across the floor, you see the giant wolf's eyes follow you.
No,
Fuck. He heard me.
Nesbitt walks up to the giant wolf thing. Hello.
As you approach,
You guys are
she,
just swarming.
she was in the middle. She was in the middle of talking to the lady in front of her, not snobby and like me, and then she just stops and looks to you. Hello.
Hi, my apologies. I don't often get to see such majestic creatures. I just wanted to come and introduce myself. My name is Nesbitt. Is there anything I can do for you guys?
I don't believe so. Who are you here with?
Oh, just over there with Oshay. And I start fumbling around in my pockets and I pull out this token.
Very good. I'm not familiar with Mr. O'Shea, but it is good to make your acquaintance. And as she turns to address Dolwyn, and the person she was standing with turns to greet Darko, you get a grumbling in your brain, Nesbitt, that sounds vaguely like of a greeting fashion, and something of a hello in a growly voice.
Okay.
And he turns, as he's processing that, the eyes of the wolf turn towards Hjalti, and you also get a telepathic message saying, "Do not insult."
Who, me?
Yes.
Kelty will look down, ashamed, and he'll be like, "I'm sorry."
You get a reply back from that both heard, but she's more polite, and it leaves at that. Dolwyn, you are approached by the elf, and she greets you. Good evening. I don't believe we've had the opportunity.
Oh, well, good evening to you. Kind of do a slight bow. My name's Darby, Dolwyn Spinstar, from Spinstar Farms.
She extends a hand towards you. Litheri Phelan.
It is a pleasure, and he will extend his arms, making sure that his arms are, that the sleeves of his clothes are covering his arms. I must say, this is quite the nice gathering you have. Very impressive gala. I've not had a chance of being to one myself.
Please. And she puts a hand over your hand. You don't need to be so nervous.
Oh, well, I definitely appreciate it. Being around a large crowd definitely gets my nerves a little jumpy.
As that happens, let me read this real quick just to be sure. Read the details here. Okay. Yeah, so you need to make a charisma saving throw, please.
I can, yeah. I am about to be charmed. This could go very good or very bad. 8.
8. You fail the save, and as with a very, very slight glow of one of the runes on her body that is exposed, you feel a very soothing nature come over you as your emotions are calmed.
Oh, it was a good spell.
Oh, yeah, I was getting a little bit worried. Well, I feel better.
To be perfectly honest, Boumier is an arrogant shit, although he throws a good party. Not worth your nerves. And she kind of gives a kind wink at you and then stands back up and turns around.
I'm not. I can say that for quite a few people in the upper folk. Not you, of course. As he quickly apologizes, but still feeling a lot calmer than what he was.
During that time, the lady that Lyseri Phaon was talking to is turning around to talk to Darko, who's behind her. Hello, have I made the acquaintance?
You have not. My name is Darko. And before I allow her to speak, I will cast Detect Magic.
Okay. What components are there to detect magic?
I don't think. Oh, via VNS.
It's a verbal and somatic.
Verbal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're visually talking and using your hands to cast a spell right now. Is that what you're saying?
Right in her face.
Yeah. Nah, let's not do it.
Okay.
So yeah.
I mean, if you want to do it. Just weave it in. Be smooth.
Like how you do in Detect Magic.
Are you from around here?
I actually am from somewhere nearby. There is a court of sorts that I do belong to. A band of wizards, you might say.
Oh, very good. So you are a wizard?
Me particularly, I am not. I'm more into the darker arts.
Really? Oh, maybe you would be more home with my mages in Nagosia.
Well, I could
See, the
never
mages-
shy away from mage work.
The mages around here, they are so stuffy, so particular, and it hinders the art.
Yeah, I do agree. Unless you have an open mind, you will always hold yourself back.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Mr. Draco. I am Baroness Biala.
Now,
Legal this and ethical that.
I'll bow while kind of waving my hands.
War crime
forward.
this, and don't do that. Well, I must be carrying on, but I hope to see you later in the night. And she kind of gives a very short curtsy and then turns to leave. With that out of the way, what are the rest of you doing?
Kealti's kind of like looking around the room. He wants to see where more people are like gathered at, and if there's like lesser people in some spots, like are they not around, like, or are they the spots not gathered at? Is it like a door that leads to somewhere else? Does it look like places are like purposefully like blocked off or anything like that?
Um, from what you can see right here, it's there's this main entrance hall, and then a side hall that goes to several doors. There is a staircase. If I can get my thing working correctly, there's a staircase behind where you guys are standing that leads to go upstairs. But there are several archways and doorways that you guys could go through, or what you've expected others to be able to go through.
And he is also really ashamed and kind of like glancing over towards Lysaria and Torin. But he's not going to go over there because he's awkward and he feels bad.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to try to find like one of those guys that has like a fucking offering hors d'oeuvres or some shit.
For clarity, the name of the Phelan with the wolf, it's not Lysaria, is it? It's their daughter?
She has brought a child with her. It is a male. You assume it to be her son.
But the lady herself, that is Lysaria.
Yes.
Okay.
And she looks, in prime adult life for an elf.
Nesbitt will finish his conversation with Torrent, asking about where an animal as majestic as he is comes from. Hopefully his kind is not beset by any poachers or anything like that.
Lysaria begins in with you talking about how that Torin is a special sort, and goes into their brief history and kind of talks about the where Torin came from and things. As they are having this conversation, what is Dolan doing?
I'm assuming she turned around and left him, correct?
Yeah, she turned back to Torin.
Okay. Dolan, kind of looking around, he's just going to start making his way kind of into the hallway slowly, just kind of casually walking and scanning the area. Picking into any rooms he can.
Okay. So in here, let me get my reveal thing on here. This is what you would see.
So he'll probably be like right here for us. Okay. Oh wow! Other big fuzzy animal.
Yep, let me get this up here. Okay, you're able to see all that inside of this room. It looks to be some sort of study. Has lounging chairs, a fireplace. There is an elven gentleman standing next to a large brown bear. But there's also a red-haired gentleman sitting in a chair close to the fire, and two very scantily dressed women in the remaining chairs in the room. There's also some food that's been left on the table, like some cheeses and fruits and things.
Okay, and there's no room behind me, correct? Is that just like a window?
That is a door. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm assuming that door's locked. He's gonna like try to push it open, just like nudge it with the back of his foot.
Okay, I mean, it's like pushed closed, but it's not latched. So when you kick it, it begins to move open. And as you turn away from the room that you were facing before, to look at the door that just opened, you hear from behind you, from that study area, that, "Thank you, but I don't need to pay for my pleasures." And inside this room here, as the door creaks open, this is what you see.
And that's from behind the door, right?
Yeah, like the door is swinging open inwards towards that room.
Right, and I heard the voice inside this room. Or is it the room that's in here?
Oh, sorry. Say your question again. I had to get my dog.
Oh, so the voice I heard, was that in this room with the bear, or was it in the room?
Correct. Yes.
With the door. Okay. Well, it's not locked, so he's definitely interested in the people there. Yeah, he'll walk into the room here. He'll kind of like leave that door ajar, but kind of walk inside here and start looking over at this table with the food. Kind of definitely eyeing the person with the large bear, but kind of keeping his distance.
Okay.
This isn't where I parked my car. Real quick. Is that room the first access we would have had to hors d'oeuvres?
There's people walking around. I'm not going to put them on the map, but there are servants walking around with some plates of hors d'oeuvres and drinks.
Okay.
Oh, wow, this is quite lovely looking food. I'll kind of just say out loud to nobody. Unless somebody is here to listen.
I didn't hear what you say because my dog was barking again. Sorry. Say again.
Very good food is what he says.
Okay. The bear turns to you briefly before just going back to looking at the other people in the room, but nobody else seems to acknowledge. And while you're in here, you hear the gentleman at the back. Let me get his thing pulled up here for myself. Oh shoot, where'd it go? Here we go. Guys, there are so many rooms here. I gotta manage everything. My God.
The old man who has O'Shea's orb. What was his name again? It sounded to me like
Boomier?
Boomier.
Boomier.
Monsieur.
Monsieur
Well,
Boumier.
yeah, Monsieur Boomier. So yeah, the red-haired gentleman next to the fire says,
Omelette au fromage.
"Are you sure you have to come sometime? I shall treat you to the puff flower and the best of my horse."
Oh
No.
my god.
And the other gentleman, just like the elven, just politely declines and tries to carry on the conversation in a different direction. With that happening in that room, we come back to Nero. Nero, what are you doing in this room right now? Back in the main hall.
Back in the main hall. I'm just kind of mesmerized by this giant wolf over here. And I don't know. I'm just looking around. I'm not that.
What are you looking for?
Okay. So
I'm just looking.
So-
Just taking it all in.
so-
Nero was raised in like the wilderness.
So-
This is not.
with Boomier standing here behind you, you're actually standing guard.
Me standing guard?
Yeah, since Boomier is talking to O'Shea directly behind you, you're taking the guard portion of the guard duty.
I'll take that.
Okay, very good. Snacks, what are you and your Drake doing in this mansion? Where the frick are you? Starting? I don't even know where you are.
He's like up in the
Oh yeah,
corner.
you're up top. Okay, there you are.
So, when I walked into this room, I saw that there was a large dire wolf. And so I took a seat on the edge of this bench and have ordered Freckles to lay down, and she is not allowed to get back up because I don't know how she's going to behave. And on the way over here, I have accumulated a plate full of just every kind of food I could possibly reasonably get my hands on, and anything that seems like it would keep overnight or longer has been deposited in my cloak or bag, and I appear to be busily basically busying myself with my plate of hors d'oeuvres, but I am in fact just trying to keep an eye on the room and observe and listen, and not really try not to run into any kobold racists.
Okay. Make a perception check with me since you're just keeping an eye out right now.
$15.
15. Okay.
Mhm.
So you notice a couple things as you sit there. You notice first off that the wolf is also scanning the room very defensively, but also observantly. And his eyes land on your Drake for a second, and just kind of cock his head a little bit, and then carries on. And you hear the conversation between Lysere and Nesbitt, and it's talking about the heritage of where Torin came from and how he used to be small, but she raised him, and basically he's a gift from Sylvanas and other things that are a little bit above your kobold level. Like you're not familiar with these deities and things, so you don't know exactly what they're talking about. You also hear a noise from the room. If you're sitting on that bench, to be to your left, and noise comes in like whispers to each other, and the whispers are the little bit that you hear is, "I can tell by your dress," and that's all you hear.
Okay. Is this lady? Is this a pillar here?
Where? That, yeah.
Okay, so this lady can't see me.
Not very much, no.
Okay, I thought she was approaching me to talk.
Nope.
I was like, uh-oh. Socially awkward kobold here. Is this door open?
Yeah, that's just a giant archway.
Okay, so licking my fingers and setting the plate down on the bench, I will stand up and sort of signal for Freckles to follow, and I will just sort of come in here, just observe, just sort of like I'm wandering.
Okay. So, this room, what you see... Oh, gosh. It's a giant... basically, it's a grand hall. It's been set up in a way that's basically a dining hall with several tables and chairs ready to receive at least most of the important people that are attending. In this room, there's only 2 people who are hanging out in the space while the food is not here. And it's one gentleman who has his hair pulled back into like this, basically a man bun, and he has this very blonde goatee to match his hair. He's wearing very plain robes, like a very earth tone setup, and there's no undershirt, but his robes that flow over are very well made and tied very neatly. And he's very slender. And he's talking to the gentleman across from him who's wearing a dark blue, and the gentleman has a very like a high coif of whitish hair, white blonde hair, and he's wearing dark blue robes that are kind of tied in a similar fashion, but it's more like a 3-piece suit that has this very extended coat.
And looks suspiciously like Johnny Depp.
I was gonna say it looks like Man Bun Thor and man, I can't think of the guy's name. It's not Gordon Bombay. It's not Gordon Freeman. Gordon Ramsay. That's it. Yeah, Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay.
Arguing with Thor. That's what my little kobold mind is saying.
Regardless of how you think I'm dressed, I just came to make my face known. No,
Oh, I didn't say that to him.
oh no, I know. He's talking to the guy across the room.
Oh.
he's like, no.
Wait.
What? I can't help but notice your...
Oh, freaking wait, that is Johnny Depp.
I can't help but notice your avoidance of the Wolf Queen. And the figure in dark blue. I'm not avoiding anyone. I don't know what you're talking about. We just haven't made our way to each other yet. No. I specifically saw you, like, sidestep her and almost run into this room. I can assure you that that's not the case. He turns to leave and then runs over, or not runs. He walks towards the entrance of this room and then sees the small kobold standing there. Can I help you?
No.
He waits just for a moment for an answer before just walking around you.
Kelty is gonna go up to Sarah, and he's just gonna bow and be like, "I'm sorry."
He quickly runs away.
I said something rude. I'm very nervous. Well,
Nisbek is
I gotta
going
do it in my voice. I'm sorry. I'm very nervous. I didn't mean to insinuate anything and be rude. Please don't let it affect how you view that nice old man over there. He's pretty cool.
Who are you talking
It's-
to? I see you're talking to.
It's quite all right. Torrance temper is notoriously short.
Yeah, and I'd rather avoid getting my head bit off. So I'm very sorry. And also very sorry to you, Monsignor Big Wolf Man.
The figure in blue kind of like begins to power walk through this area, hugging the wall. He's done that before, but it was much dire circumstances, and she begins watching the figure in blue as he walks away.
If she's watching, I want to kind of look over at him.
Nesbitt notices that she was, like, gazed fixed on that guy. And I look back at him and then back to her and I go, so who's that guy?
Oh. He looks at me, and I look at him.
What do you got for me, weirdo?
Okay. As he vanishes from view, you asked her who he was, right?
Yeah. I noticed that you're staring at that guy. Who is he? There seems to be a little bit of disgust on your face, if I'm not mistaken.
An old acquaintance, shall we say, but none that is overly fond of us.
Inside.
Okay, make
The joys of politicking, am I right?
what are you looking for specifically, Yelty?
Tone of voice when she says that, really.
Okay, make an insight check.
24.
24. You can tell that there is a hidden animosity, but you're not sure to what level it goes. Politicking or swords through chess. But that was many lifetimes ago. At this time, the figure who was back in the dining room begins to walk up to Snacks. Hello there, young one. What are you doing here?
Eating.
This is a fine place for that. Forgive my rudeness. I'm not familiar with kobolds. Is this the maximum height for your race?
Yes, I'm of average height.
Interesting. And I strictly mean no offense. I'm merely just interested. Thank you for your...
No. Curiosity is curiosity is nothing to apologize for.
he nods and then looks across the room. Ah, surely not. And he turns back to Snacks. Excuse me, and he just cuts himself off and then begins walking. And he walks over towards Hjalti. And Hjalti, you recognize a member of your order.
What's up, bro?
Hang on, let me get to my thing.
Hope he's whipping his dick out.
I'm down, Charlie.
God, where the heck did it go? And okay, so he extends his hand to you. Dolly got us.
Hold on. I know you have that fucking saying on here. And may many hands protect us, bruh.
I do not believe we have met, my brother. And he shakes your hand.
He shakes it.
Where do you? Where is your station?
I don't know. Do we have one? I don't think we ever said we had one.
I thought we had mentioned it, but for our sake, we can say you're stationed outside of Celestis.
Outside of Celestis.
Very good. I'm directly from the monastery. I'm assuming you're the servant hand.
Yeah.
Very good. Well,
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to make my pilgrimage sometime soon.
my name is Palka. Very good to meet you.
Palka?
Palka. Palka. I'm of the guiding hand.
Pleasure to meet you. Honestly, didn't expect to see another young control here.
As did I.
I'm Hjalti. I mean, you can probably tell, but I'm just just one of the little servant hands. Really want to make it to that monastery one day. It seems pretty dank.
Nesbit, can you make a perception check for me?
I sure can. Pull up my character sheet. You said perception?
Yes.
Public or private?
Public's fine. Okay. You see Usere giving a similar look to this gentleman that she was giving to the other gentleman.
To this guy?
Yes. Continuing the conversation with Hjalti, I would. There's much to discuss when you make your pilgrimage. There's a lot of things that that happen and are bestowed when such things take place, and some powers. And he looks a quick glance over to Osere before back to Hjalti. Should not be granted to mortal kind, no matter how long lived. Do be careful in your dealings this night. And then he bows and then begins walking away.
Dolly guide you, bruh.
Is he not a human?
Yeah, he's human. And he's essentially gone. So back to Darwin, unless anybody else in this room has anything to add. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah. Nesbitt would look over to Laseri and say, "Man, if I didn't know better, you'd have many enemies here."
This is a highly political room.
So it would seem. So, what brings you here? Is it truly to see the exhibits, or
No, the
possibly
Phelan.
that and other things?
The Phelan crown was directly invited, as haughty as that is, and while the queen herself could not come, I am here in her stead.
Mhm.
My daughter needed an ambassador to various places in Rhinemore, and it gave me and Torrin something to do in our retirement.
Very sorry once more if I insulted you. Please don't look at it bad against, like, him or
Consider it
my
forgotten.
order or anything. I'm so sorry. I'm going to run away now. I'm very awkward.
Okay. And Lassari and Torrin are going to proceed into the dining room.
Oh, fuck. We followed each other.
No. You went the other way.
Okay.
I was actually looking for an angle to separate myself from that conversation for a minute. I'm actually going to walk down here and introduce myself to Beaumier. Hello?
And I told them you can't simply have it just because it's belonged to you once upon a... Oh, hello. Yes.
I just wanted to say, I've not really had a chance to look around yet, but I've been in some nice places before. This place, though, it tops the cake. Well done.
And over Brumier's shoulder, O'Shea is looking at you with a hard look and then slowly nods as you say not the wrong things. Thank you very kindly. I have a large estate and it has been won with many small battles.
If you'll excuse me, I am going to go and enjoy your gala now. My name, by the way, is Nedsbicht, and if you ever need anything to do with animals, I might be your guy.
I shall keep you in my contacts, Nesbitt, and please go enjoy yourself. Meet many new people. He turns back to Boomier. So I was saying that you can't have it just because it belonged to you. This is the Scientists and Museum's property now. And then he trails off as you walk away. Okay, so heading back to Dalwyn in the study. After that last point of matter between the elf and the gentleman about his whores and drugs, he turns to leave, and his bear follows. And he just the elf kind of nods at everybody that he passes, not wanting to start another conversation right now.
Dalwyn definitely takes a step back as the bear walks to the side, definitely uncomfortable with large animals in this very narrow building.
And
Did Yalty hear anything about the whores and drugs when he came in?
No, that was before, just out of earshot for you, especially with your attention drawn. And Nesbitt can't help but notice the enormous bear, basically the same size as the dire wolf, walk past you on its way out.
So that's what the elf said that to the guy, or the guy said that to the elf?
Say again.
Did the elf say that to the guy on the chair, or did the guy on the chair with the red hair say that to the elf about the horse and drugs?
The red-haired guy said it to the elf, offering the elf drugs and whores if you were to come by.
Okay. Does he look just cheap, sleazy?
Who does?
The guy in the room, the guy with the red hair.
He has a very eccentric aura about him. He is very loose and happy, and while he's very well dressed, he's very much on the side of, I'm here to have a good time and I don't care.
Okay. Donald's gonna look at the table, look at him, look at the table, and he's gonna grab, I'm assuming, is it cups of wine or liquor, alcohol that I can take?
Yeah, there are some drinks there on the table with all the basically the charcuterie.
He's gonna grab two of these mugs and kind of walk over to the guy. Well, it seems that you two didn't quite get along. Would you like a drink?
So you asked him about his taste. I'm sorry.
No, he says, oh, well, it seems that you two did not get along. Would you like a drink?
I would love a drink or two. And he just takes what, since you said that, he takes whatever's in your hand. But
Yep.
without you offering it, he just takes it.
That's perfectly fine. So I heard, something about, drugs. What kind of drugs do you happen to sell? And he'll say that as he kind of lowers his voice, making himself a bit quieter.
Oh, we sell a great deal. Are you in the market? I have.
Perhaps. I'd be curious.
Well, and he gestures towards the door. Well, princes can be so prickly about their women and choices. I have plenty of both. Are you familiar with us, the Gwillans of Brennan Nashim?
Would I know them?
You would have heard of them, but never been there.
I have heard the name, yes.
Then you surely have known what we are popular for, and that's being a good time. And he elbows you in the side.
Right. Do you mind to regale me with some of your more potent drugs?
Absolutely. And he reaches into his pocket, and he pulls out what seems to be a flower bud that has been tied shut, like a lily that has its petals, pulled closed and then tied at the end. And he pulls it out and puts it directly up, under your nose, like in front of your mouth.
He will definitely Darwell will definitely take a step back from that as he does so. Definitely holding his breath as soon as the flower light comes underneath his nose.
He was about to press on the pedals, about to do something. I'm sorry. Did you not want to partake at the moment?
Not that I do not mean to offend, but I rather have some knowledge or learn about things that I may be consuming and or inhaling.
He laughs, and it's a laugh that lasts a little bit too long. That makes you uncomfortable. This is
See from over here. We'll just be like, ha 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 ha.
That's just so awkward.
This is a puff flower, and he tosses it to you.
He'll catch it and he'll kind of look over it. Does it look familiar?
Make a nature check.
Okay. Let's see. Okay.
Kelty's also going to grab a cup of wine and come over. I heard something about drugs.
Well, oh my god, that one. 3.
3? No, it looks like a lily or some sort of flower, but you can't place it.
Do you mind if I hold on to this?
Oh, don't take it. That's what I gave it to you for.
What if what about 3 gold? 3 gold.
I don't know. I don't take gold. Just take
Take
it.
gold. Okay.
Try it. If you like it, you can come back for more. Fair enough.
Can you give me a hint of what it does?
It enlightens you.
Oh god.
Is it?
Tolan cringes a little bit at that.
It brings your mind to an entirely different place. It's lovely.
I wholeheartedly appreciate. This was a very enlightening conversation. Thank you. What is your name?
Oh, I am. Gosh, let me get my freaking paper up here. You guys have no idea what I have to manage right now. My name is Selik Gwillan.
Well, Cedric, it is a pleasure. My name is Darwin.
Do come by sometime, or at least stop by later in the night when you're feeling a bit more frisky.
Oh, of course. And he'll hold up the flower bud, nodding.
And when he says frisky, one of the girls gets up from the chair and begins to walk over to you.
Oh, no, I'm taken. He puts up his hands, as the girls walk up.
Okay.
I appreciate it though. And as he's kind of very like nervously like bypasses, steps by these women. He's gonna pull out a cloth, very carefully wrap up the bulb,
Hmm.
and kind of put it in his the bag that he's carrying around,
Okay. As
and
you
placing it so it doesn't like accidentally go off in his bag.
okay, as you walk past the women, they do the thing where they like as you walk past, they just graze their fingers delicately across your shoulder.
Kelty walks up. Now, I will never say no to drugs and whores.
Oh, take a seat there, handsome. We have plenty of a night to enjoy.
Sits down.
Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing? Let's look down back at Nesbitt is still in the hallway. What are you doing? Nesbitt, are you on? Nope. Anthony went AFK. Okay. Let's move on to
He was
Dark.
here just a minute ago.
Yeah, he must have muted by accident or stepped aside for just for a second. In the meantime, Darko, what are you up to? You're just inside the room there and seeing this.
Not really much. I'm kind of just waiting to see for something to happen. Everything is kind of beyond my scope of knowledge.
Okay. Let's have you, Darko, make me a perception check, please.
Sure.
Am I back?
Okay. Yeah, there you are.
Yep.
Okay, with that perception, you look around the room and you're looking just to take in everything. It's a little distracting with how much is going on, and this is not your normal environment at all. You see several mounted animal heads on the wall, the bearskin rug on the ground, which looks to be fake by the size of it, because even the bear that left the room isn't quite that big. So this is obviously a faux fur that's meant to be decorative. The fireplace is lit behind everybody sitting down over there. It's hard to say from where you're at and with all the distractions going on, but you don't see anything immediate that stands out to you as where your target could be in this room. At least not with that precision. So coming back to Nesbitt, what are you doing in the hallway?
What do I see on the walls?
On the walls in front of you are rather to the south, are two doorways with some sconces lit very low with what seems to be an oil-based fire. They're those things are oil-based lanterns. They seem to be self-fed. There's not like anybody going around refilling lanterns with oil. Neither do you see a source. So this looks to be just actually not magical, just a really high-end mundane light source. On the other wall, there is a series of portraits that they seem to be either family portraits or portraits of really esteemed colleagues that have worked with Boumier in the past. He's posing with them in some of the paintings, and there looks to be a spot where one is missing.
How do I know that? Is there like an outline?
Yeah,
placard?
it's very slightly outlined. Like the spacing is a little bit wrong, where there should be one roughly right there. So it's spaced out weirdly, and there's a little bit of a difference in color where the light has shown on that wall for some time, but recently it's been changed.
I'll move down towards this doorway here. Is it open?
It's closed, but it's still just a door.
Yeah, okay. I'll open it.
Okay. You reach to open it. It's unlocked. It pushes away from you, and looking inside the room, this is what you're going to see.
Is this a library? Nesbitt will definitely take a stroll inside of here.
Okay, I think I got everything there. Let me double check. Okay. Oh, there's a small little bit over here I missed. Let me do. Okay. So yeah, it's a very large library with many, many stacks of books, even some that are so high up on bookshelves that it requires a ladder to scroll back and forth on the shelves for ease of access. There's a door leading outside, it looks like, because there's something like an outside lantern light spilling in on the left side. And there's two people in this room. And let me flip to that section here, which is... and you see the gentleman who was kind of poking fun at O'Shea right here with his pale face and makeup. I didn't do anything. This guy right here. And there's a lady across from him. I can't believe people would venture into the weird so willingly. So uncivilized. And that's where you come into the conversation. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Can I help you?
I was going to ask you that.
Oh, he looks down at your chest. Oh, you're with Mr. Blue. How lovely. Have you been with him very long?
No, not really.
Oh, you should get out while you can, for your reputation is ruined.
Why is that?
Oh, the old fool can't hold himself together, even in public regard. You saw him fall out of his carriage when we got here.
Yes, he is an old man.
God, it's embarrassing, frankly. And it used to be something important, but anymore he's just a mock. Are you here by choice or by force?
No, I am being paid for my time.
I hope you're being paid well. The lady's...
Not really. I'm the help.
Let me get my thing. Where the heck? Oh, okay. She, the lady standing there, turns to you and says, "I can't stand the cold. I can't travel much farther than Malainmore. Have you ever been farther north than that?" And you would know Malainmore is a little bit south of you.
Yeah, actually. I come from a place up there, around Rathroot.
Really? Oh goodness, dear! And she puts a hand on your chest. I can't believe. How could you stand the seasonal temperature?
Down here or up there?
Both of them start laughing at you. Up there, dear. Like, it's so cold. I can't...
Yeah, well, what we do is we find some animals and then we kill them. And what we do after we kill them is we take a really sharp knife and we cut slits. You can stop me at any time as I describe skinning animals to collect their furs.
That is absolutely fascinatingly barbaric. I love it. And the lady turns back to...
Our boy Nesbit putting it down, talking shit to the ableists.
So goosh.
The lady turns back to the gentleman and says, "I don't see how the bishop stays in a place like Blackspire. It gives me the creeps. I had to go there once on a special visit, and I can tell you I will not be returning. I don't care what my mother says."
So awful about it.
It's so dark and dismal, and everyone is just there on business and errand. There's nothing of entertainment there. It's so droll.
What do you think of Boumier, the Scala?
Oh, Boumier is a fine person, I suppose. He's put on many good parties for us, at least. And then the gentleman quips back, "I mean, a few good documents anyway, even if they are slightly flawed, am I right?" And it's just this arrogant, like, just terrible laugh.
I think I'm going somewhere. Oh, okay. So you've been here. You've been here many times then, as of course you would, doing what it is that you do. What was that again?
What I do?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't do anything really. My family owns several orchards and, finery establishments. But that's not something I really follow. I leave that to my cousin.
I bet you guys know so much about this place.
Oh, a lovely, embarrassing story. A couple of years ago, and uh, he turns fully to face you, Nesbitt. A couple of years ago, we had a similar gathering, but it was only for the people in our trade districts, you see. And Boomy offered to host us, as he does. He's lovely. And we were in this very room, and he backs up a little bit. Um, Over there, and he points to his right, one of our friends got so inebriated that he fell backwards onto the arms of that statue there, and one arm nearly broke off, and it kind of fell through the wall before he righted himself, and we fixed it a little, but it was dreadful. He was so embarrassed.
That is an intriguing story.
Man, these people fucking know how to party.
How did you hide it from Boumier?
It's it was not my story to tell, if that sits at all. If anybody was to tell him, or if it was to notice, then it was strictly on that gentleman. I was not getting my toes dipped in that water. Anyway, and he comes back up to the lady he was talking to before. So, Giselle, are you planning to stay here long, or do you want to head out after dinner, or do you want to actually stay for the announcement? I don't know if it kind of trails off because you're behind a bookcase.
Okay. I approach the statue and I examine the wall behind it for repairs.
Okay. Make an investigation check, and in the meantime, Nero, what are you doing over in the hallway? With both of these doors open, you can see kind of everything that's right here. And for that matter, you heard most of that conversation.
Most of the one
With Nesbitt and Nesbitt and those two people there.
I mean, like, everybody's in this room up here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it just seems to be like nobody out in the main hall anymore, so I don't feel like I need to watch him as much. I guess I'm going to go here and check on my little buddy. I'm going to go in here more. These stairs,
Yep, those are stairs that go upstairs.
if they're not paying attention that way, I may go upstairs.
Okay, so yeah,
Or attempt to it.
yeah, they look welcoming. They're not hidden or anything. So Nero goes upstairs, and we'll come back to that in just a moment.
Alright.
So before we come back to Nesbitt, I'll ask everybody else what they're doing in this other room, and once we conclude these series of things, that will probably be it for the night. So up in the northern room where most everybody is anybody doing anything particular?
I mean, I was going to try that puff ball stuff. Puff root, wherever the hell it is.
Oh,
If you'd offer it.
Oh, I don't have any of that. Was my last one of the evening, but I do have some other proclivities. Do you smoke? Or are you more of the directly intake persuasion?
I mean, I've never really smoked pipe all that much, but, YOLO. My body is a temple that I'm going to desecrate.
I just want you to know, Hajolti, that even in Hajolti's voice, I knew that was a lie.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me come back to me later after I make a pit stop at my carriage outside, and I will certainly have many things for you to try.
Alright, I'll hold you to that. And Belty just walks out. See ya, bitches.
Okay, so we have 3 left in that room. Are you guys doing anything in there?
Well, that was. Well, I think dinner might be ready. And Darwin's gonna walk out and start heading to the dining room.
And I'll follow. I'll just say, "Yep, that sounds about my cue to get out of here as well."
Snacks?
That was that. We can
Run
read the
away
room.
from
We
the
can
drugs and
I
whores.
was gonna say.
Snacks, what are you doing?
Trying to get him some drugs and whores.
Apparently.
Whoops, that was muted. Sorry.
Yep.
How much cheese did I get?
All the cheese on the table, if you were to gather it up, would be about a pound and a half of cheese. Different varieties.
How much could I reasonably take away from this table right now?
I mean, nobody's watching.
Taking a pound and a half of cheese, adding it to my inventory.
Okay. So back to Nesbitt. What was your investigation? 20?
Yes.
Looking at the wall, you don't see any repair on it done at all. It looks like
Okay.
it's pretty intact. The brick matches the brick everywhere that you see. The statue is of somebody you don't recognize. There's many weird creases and folds on the clothing of this the statue.
I'm going to Nesbitt will reach behind the statue and just pat on the wall, around the arms, around the back area.
Okay. As you're leaning forward and reaching around the statue, you're feeling the wall, trying to find any. What are you looking for specifically?
Anything that's not supposed to be there.
Okay. It all looks to be in place. It's all smooth. You even reached down towards the bottom of the statue, and as you're reaching down, you're holding on to the part of the statue, and you hear something crack, and you start to go forward and then stop. And you look up, and the right, its left arm on the right side for you, has fallen down inside, in line with the statue, and the wall pushes forward just a little bit.
Did you say the wall, sir?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Can I push it too again?
Yeah. If you pull the statue and pull the wall all the way closed, you hear kind of a latch click, and then the arm goes up with the latch click.
Duly noted. Nesbitt walks away.
Okay. So with all of that said right there, how do you guys feel about time?
I mean,
I can go for a bit longer, but
Yeah, I could also go for longer. I do have to go and see to
It's a construct.
friends' dogs.
Okay.
So maybe if we stopped in like the next 45 minutes, if we keep playing.
Okay. I'm good. I thought I was making sure because we've been going since 8, which is a little bit earlier than some of this group normally does. So I just wanted to check on everybody. Yeah.
For me, I'd have to go at 11, unfortunately.
At 11? Okay.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go for a little bit longer and call it at 11.
See, need to go into my notes.
Okay, so it looks like with Nesbitt have investigated that, and everybody else downstairs, basically in the main hall, we're going to transition upstairs and follow Nero upstairs. Okay, and as we get here,
Dark.
it is very dark.
The lights are off.
So let me get my things on. As Nero goes upstairs, this is what he sees.
Nothing.
You can put your person on the map there, Nero. You are ascending up a balcony of the library here. There are more books and things on shelves that go around the balcony of this room with ladders and more stools and things stationed around. There's also a doorway here that has a door on it. That's all it seems to be up here, at least on this side. So
Doorway?
yeah, there's a doorway.
So, like, where I'm at, all I see is the bookshelves, and there's a doorway to my left right now, right?
Correct. And yeah, and some more portraits on the wall that seem innocuous.
Okay, I want to check this doorway.
Okay. You go. You just grab it, like the handle.
Yeah, I just want to see what's unlocked.
Okay. Yeah, it's unlocked.
I'm gonna crack it. Well, no, you know what? This character's not that character. I'm gonna open it.
Okay. You just open the door in somebody's house, and when you look inside, you just see a small little. God dang it! It didn't work. Stupid.
I've never seen one of those.
You see well, kind of like a storage room. It just has some extra crates and barrels, and there's a standing lamp in the middle of the room that helps illuminate the space. But, or rather, not a standing lamp, kind of like a small light fixture on the ceiling that hangs down. But it seems very empty, and there's the door on the other side. It looks more of as a walk through, but nothing crazy suspicious in this room that you see.
But this up here is the wall.
Where? Yeah,
Like
yeah,
top.
it's a wall.
Okay. I'm gonna check this door.
Oh wait, no. Hold on. Let me see. I'm misreading the map here. Let me see. Double checking. Is that? Oh, okay. No. I was mistaken. Yeah, you're right. So that one, those are stairs that go down to a landing, and you see all of this as well.
Oh, so this is just like a little step down.
Yep, just a little step down. So you
Oh.
you see just a couple little bouquets of flowers and ingredients, and what seems to be a brewing station of some sort that's been cleaned and readied for the next event. But everything here is very clean and put away, and it feels like this is a workstation, some sort of laboratory, but it's been cleaned and ready and made ready for public viewing, just kind of as a show of look at me and my research type of thing.
What is this in front of me?
That in front of you is a standing of like a suit of armor that's in front of a fern. It's you place between a fern and a pot, like a vase that's there decoratively.
Okay. Is this a door?
Yeah, that's also a door.
Is it open?
No, it is closed and locked.
Okay. I'm gonna check this one then.
Yep, and the door opens freely.
Hey.
So in there, get my things on, you see this hallway and a little bit of this one.
It's never ending. Is this just the light over here?
Yep, it's just a little light fixture, although this one seems to be some sort of crystal that glows. It's not an oil lantern like the rest of the ones you've seen so far. This one seems to be some sort of established crystal letting in natural light, although it's not illuminated right now because it's dark outside.
Okay.
Very similar to like a deck light on a ship.
I guess since this is first, I'm gonna check this one.
Okay.
Will it open?
Yep, that one opens. Matter of fact, that one is already open. Let me illuminate that for you. Another hallway with several other doors, some of which are open, some of which are not.
Damn. Did I hear anything down here?
You hear some mutterings coming from one of the rooms.
Let's not do that yet. I'm just gonna, you said this door was already open.
Yes.
I'm gonna leave it open and work my way down this hallway.
Okay.
Anything over here?
Let me do my thing. In that little outcropping is just a table with a fern on it and some other barrels. There's a chair in front of the barrel. There's nothing else really in that area, even though the table's vacant. It seems to be a place for people to be designed to stop and talk or relax for a moment.
Okay. I guess I'll keep going. Ain't seeing nobody. Another hallway.
Another hallway, and this way as well.
These all doors on top.
Yes, those are all doors. All the yellow things are doors.
This one open.
Let me see. Is that one open? No, that one's not open.
Locked.
Yes.
Alright, this one.
That one is also locked.
And this one.
Locked.
Damn.
Oh, I need to do that. Sorry. Right through. Gosh, can I get this lined up right? There you go. The last thing is another door on the very end of the hall. And
Open?
it is locked.
Alright. Go back down this hallway. Check these.
For expediency, all of those are locked as well.
Okay, good. Just to let you.
Let you see right there.
I ran out the window. Locked as well.
Well, that's actually a staircase that you would see as well. That's an open archway.
Oh, this is a staircase?
Yeah, yeah, right there. It goes downstairs.
Can I, like, assume where it's going? Did I see another staircase other than the one I used to get up here?
Yes, actually, I think I forgot to highlight it. Let me bring everybody back here. That goes down to this guy, right here. That's on me for anyone to highlight that.
Okay, alright. Alright. It's not some secret staircase.
Nope. So having the top floor hallways basically mapped and explored. Are you planning on doing anything with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna go down where I heard the mumbling.
Okay. The only door open is this guy right here. And inside that room, you see a small personal museum that was mentioned before. Let me highlight that for you because this thing's broken. That's why I hit reveal. It says, oh, you want to hide that. There you go. And there is one gentleman in there, very well dressed. He's just mumbling to himself about the items that are in this museum.
Oh. I assume I don't recognize him. Was he human?
Yeah, he's human.
Okay. Are these other two doors locked?
Yes.
I guess I'm just gonna go in and look around in here. And see what I see. Just like I'm checking the museum out.
Okay, there are 10 items in there. Before we get to that, that is where we are going to pause for the day, and we'll pick up there next time on those items.
Alright. Then I'm gonna clobber this dude in the back now.
And I kill him and eat his blood.
Sir, and I'm gonna smack him in the face with a hammer.